Stories. Marcus Carlson joins me now. Marcus, first up, we're going to have a look at Crimea's financial future.
We are indeed. Hi there, Tom. This on the day that Russia said that all troops loyal to Ukraine have now left Crimea, and Moscow has also approved of its first financial aid package for the region. The annexation of Crimea is likely to cost the Kremlin dearly, though. Russia said earlier this week that it would spend almost $7 billion this year alone. The local Crimean economy is facing a range of challenges, but the prime minister in the region still says that he believes in an economic boom with Russia's help. Jennifer Lush has more.
Russia's flag flies alongside Crimea's over the Simferopol parliament. Bitter over what it calls Kiev's long-term neglect, the region is convinced its economy will fare better with Moscow as a partner.
We expect an economic boom, economic growth. Unfortunately, as a part of Ukraine, Crimea was a region where the rates of development and per capita income were below average.
Several challenges lay ahead. 85% of Crimea's energy supplies come from Ukraine, and in theory, Kiev could switch off the lights at any moment. Moscow has promised to put an end to this dependence by helping to build gas-fired power stations and possibly linking the peninsula to Russia's grid. But that could take years. Another hurdle, currency confusion. For the moment, prices are being marked in both the hryvnia and the ruble. But different banks, shops and restaurants are displaying different rates.
There
will be a period of adjustment and businesses will suffer because of the links between the Ukrainian and Crimean economies.
For everyday Crimeans, the change isn't necessarily a good thing. Officials have warned prices will rise up to 30% with the introduction of the ruble.
It's difficult because we don't know how our paycheck will change once we're paid in rubles. Will it be more or less?
The biggest burden, however, will be borne by Russia. More than half of Crimea's $540 million budget was expected to be financed by Kiev. Simferopol will now be looking to the Kremlin to come up with those funds.
Let's look at some corporate news next, and BlackBerry lives on to fight another day. The Canadian smartphone maker has reported better than expected fourth quarter results. BlackBerry lost $423 million, but analysts say it could have been a lot worse. The company continues to lose ground in the smartphone sector, though. For the first time since 2007, quarterly sales fell below $1 billion. The results are fueling hopes that the new chief executive, John Chen, is turning the company around. He's seen to be transferring the company's focus from hardware to services instead. At the start of trade, we saw BlackBerry shares coming up around about 4%, but those gains, they fizzled out throughout the day, and they're actually 4% down at this hour. And that takes us to a look at where the wider stock markets are. As you can see right here, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is currently up by 0.3%. This as American consumers hiked up spending by 0.3% in February, more than first expected. Those markets, they're also getting a boost on hopes of economic stimulus in both China as well as Europe. We also saw those hopes playing in during European trading, and European indices also closed in positive territory. Look at the Frankfurt DAX, up almost 1.5%. It came as Spanish consumer prices fell back in March, which seemed to be upping the pressure on the European Central Bank to issue more stimulus to fight the danger of deflation. That's a story to watch next week when the ECB meets. Let's talk you through a few other corporate stories that we're watching for you. Air France-KLM is selling the Ireland-based regional airline CityJet for an undisclosed sum. The buyer is a German company that specializes in turning around airlines and then selling them on. Europe's biggest airline group put up loss-making CityJet for sale back in 2012. CityJet will still operate some flights out of Paris for Air France, and the two carriers will also continue to cooperate on services from London City Airport. And if we stay in the airline world, pilots at the German flag carrier Lufthansa are set to walk off the job 3 days next week. A union called for a strike on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday as part of a long-running pay dispute. Lufthansa is calling for talks to avoid the walkout. It was already hard hit this week when ground staff at the German airports went on strike. And finally, if you're in the market for a second-hand luxury car, look no further in a bid to crack down on government waste. Italy is selling off a total of 151 cars on eBay. The cars include BMWs, Jaguars and Maseratis. The sale is seen as an attempt to show that the government is responding to pressures to cut spending. And I took a look at the latest bid a couple of hours ago, and a Beamer was at that point selling for around about 18,000 euros. So there you go, Tom. Just a trading tip for you.
Well, I'm going to get on eBay after this and have a little look myself, because I wouldn't mind a Maserati. Could do a lot worse than that. Thank you very much indeed, Marcus Carlson, for that business update. It's time now for a quick check of the sports stories.